Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Friday, the 6th of March, 2026, teases that Carlton is not really coming to Anita's place just to check on her health or sit politely in the living room pretending everything is normal. No, that part is almost an excuse. The real thing burning in his mind is Vernon. Carlton needs answers, and maybe more than answers. He needs a push, because lately, something feels wrong in his chest every time Nicole's name appears in a conversation. He walks in trying to look casual, but it is obvious he is restless. Anita talks for a moment, polite smiles, small talk. But Carlton's attention drifts again and again toward Vernon because the question inside him keeps scratching louder and louder. Eventually he finds the moment, pulls Vernon aside. The air between them slightly awkward at first. Carlton does not usually admit weakness, not like this, but today he does. Carlton admits something that he never expected to say out loud. He thinks Nicole is slipping away from him. Not completely gone yet, but drifting. Like someone slowly walking toward another door while he is still standing in the hallway, unsure whether to follow or stay frozen. And the reason has a name. Kial. Carlton says the name with a half laugh that does not feel like a laugh at all. He even confesses something embarrassing. Watching the way Kial moves around, Nicole makes him feel clumsy. Like he has been playing the wrong game all his life. Kial flirts easily. Smooth words, quick charm. Carlton, on the other hand, feels like he is still learning the language. He actually tells Vernon that maybe he needs lessons from Kial. The thought sounds ridiculous, even as he says it. Carlton Dupree thinking about learning flirting tricks from another man. Yet that insecurity is real. Nicole seems lighter around Kial lately. Less guarded, and Carlton notices everything. Vernon listens carefully. He does not interrupt too quickly. He knows Carlton well enough to let the storm finish before giving direction. When Carlton finally stops talking, there is a quiet moment where Vernon studies him. Then Vernon slowly explains something that Carlton might already know deep down, but has not connected fully. Nicole is not a simple situation. Her heart has been through a wreck. The collapse of her marriage with Ted still casts a shadow, whether she admits it or not. Divorce does that. It breaks the rhythm of trust. And then on top of that, there is Anita's cancer battle pressing heavily on the family. Nicole feels responsibility, fear, pressure, too many emotions tangled together. Vernon explains that when a woman carries that much weight, she does not run toward certainty. Sometimes she runs away from it because certainty means risk again, risk of losing again. Carlton listens and something shifts in his posture. Vernon continues calmly telling him that Nicole's hesitation does not automatically mean she wants Kial more. It might simply mean Kial represents something easier right now, something temporary, no promises, no expectations, a space where she can breathe without the heavy word future hanging above her head. Carlton frowns when he hears that because it stings. But Vernon adds another thought quickly. Women of the Dupree circle are not ordinary hearts. They are strong, complicated, worth the patience. Vernon actually tells Carlton something that sounds almost like a rule passed down through generations. A Dupree woman is worth waiting for. If a man cannot wait, then he never deserved her anyway. That line lands deep inside Carlton's mind. You can almost see the gears moving behind his eyes. The insecurity he walked in with slowly turns into something else. Determination. He straightens slightly in his chair. Vernon notices it. Carlton asks quietly what waiting actually means. Because standing still while another man occupies Nicole's time does not feel like waiting. It feels like losing. Vernon smiles a little at that. Waiting does not mean doing nothing. Waiting means understanding the moment and choosing the right move instead of the desperate one. Nicole does not need pressure. She needs someone who remains steady even while everything around her feels unstable. By the time Carlton leaves that conversation, something inside him is different. The jealousy that was twisting him earlier now transforms into focus. He realizes he has been approaching Nicole from the wrong angle, trying to compete with Kial in a game that was never about charm tricks or playful flirting. Nicole does not need a performer. She needs someone who will still be standing there when the noise fades. That realization sparks action almost immediately. Carlton does not wait days. He does not overthink again. The moment he gets privacy, he takes out his phone and calls Nicole. The call itself is slightly awkward at first. Nicole sounds distracted. Carlton notices that, but continues anyway. He asks her out for dinner. Simple, direct, no dramatic speech. Just dinner tonight, then breakfast tomorrow morning if she is free. 2 moments. 2 chances to talk without the chaos of everyone else around. Nicole hesitates for a few seconds. That pause stretches long enough for Carlton to feel nervous again, but eventually she agrees, not enthusiastically. More like cautious curiosity. Still, a yes is a yes. What Carlton does not know in that moment is where Nicole actually is. She is not at home thinking quietly about his invitation. She is in Kial's newly rented apartment. The place still smells like fresh paint and unopened boxes, the furniture barely arranged. But none of that matters right now, because Nicole and Kial are tangled in a completely different kind of distraction. The energy between them is loose and reckless, not emotional, not serious. Just heat and laughter and the strange relief of doing something that does not demand a future. Kial seems to understand Nicole's boundaries better than most people. He does not talk about commitment. He does not ask deep questions about tomorrow. That is probably why Nicole feels comfortable there. With Carlton, there is history, expectations, family ties. Every word carries weight. With Kial, everything floats lighter. Nicole knows it will not last forever. Maybe that is the exact reason she allows herself to stay in that moment. But even inside that careless atmosphere, there are small hints that Kial is not as simple as he appears. Sometimes his phone lights up and he quickly turns it face down. Sometimes his expression shifts when certain names appear on the screen. Nicole notices once or twice, but chooses not to ask. She tells herself it is not her business. After all, this arrangement between them is not about honesty or long-term trust. It is just an escape. Still, secrets have a way of walking into the room even when no one invites them. One possibility slowly begins to hover in the background. What if Kial's life outside this apartment is more complicated than Nicole thinks? What if there is someone else who believes she still has a claim on him? A wife, perhaps? Someone who suddenly appears one day at the wrong moment? The kind of confrontation that turns a casual affair into a public scandal? Nicole has already lived through enough humiliation in her past marriage. If something like that happened again, it would cut deeper than she expects. Imagine the moment. Nicole leaving Kial's building one afternoon thinking everything is still light and temporary. Then a stranger steps forward. Angry eyes, sharp voice, accusations thrown into the air before Nicole even understands what is happening. The word wife hanging there like a thunderclap. Nicole standing frozen, realizing she stepped into a story she never fully saw. If that truth surfaces, it will shatter the illusion she has been enjoying with Kial. The easy laughter would vanish instantly. In its place, embarrassment, betrayal, and maybe a painful awareness that she has been running from seriousness so hard that she walked straight into something careless. That kind of shock could change how she sees Carlton as well. Because Carlton has always been the opposite of chaos. Reliable, patient. Sometimes frustratingly patient. The kind of man who shows up again and again, even when the door remains half closed. When Nicole compares those two energies side by side, the difference might suddenly become impossible to ignore. There will probably be a moment, a quiet one, not dramatic at first. Maybe Nicole sitting alone after everything collapses with Kial, thinking about the choices she made these past months, thinking about the phone call Carlton made, dinner tonight, breakfast tomorrow. 2 simple invitations that suddenly feel more meaningful than she realized earlier. Carlton's patience might begin to look different in her memory. Not weakness, not hesitation, but strength. The strength to stay present while she sorted through her confusion. The strength to respect her fear without abandoning her completely. And when Nicole finally sees that clearly something inside her may shift, she might understand that seriousness does not automatically mean danger. Sometimes seriousness is safety, a foundation instead of a trap. Carlton, meanwhile, will still be waiting in his own quiet way. Not frozen, not desperate, just steady. The lesson Vernon gave him echoing softly in the background. A Dupree woman is worth waiting for. Carlton has already spent years circling Nicole's world. Years watching her fall into heartbreak, then slowly stand again. In a strange way, he has been waiting far longer than he realized. So the future could unfold slowly from that realization. Nicole accepting the dinner invitation with new eyes. The conversation awkward at first because both of them carry history between every sentence, but also honest. Maybe more honest than they have ever been with each other before. Carlton might admit he was jealous of Kial. Nicole might laugh at that. Or maybe sigh because now she knows the truth behind that situation? The two of them sitting across the table realizing that their story was never about flashy romance. It was about endurance. Two people orbiting the same emotional center until the timing finally stopped fighting them. If that path continues, there will inevitably come a bigger step. Carlton is not the type to rush grand gestures, yet when he decides something is right, he commits fully. A proposal would not be dramatic fireworks, more likely a quiet moment. A ring appearing during an ordinary day, Carlton speaking plainly because that is the only way he knows how. And Nicole listening carefully, remembering everything she has survived, Ted's broken marriage, the confusion with Kial, the fear of trusting again. Then looking at Carlton and realizing he has been the constant line through all those chapters. That realization could lead to something people around them have quietly hoped for a long time, a wedding. Not just a celebration, but a kind of closure for the long waiting game both of them endured. Friends and family gathering, Vernon watching with that knowing expression because he predicted this possibility earlier. Of course, nothing in life ever moves perfectly straight. Doubts might return, old wounds might whisper again, but the difference this time would be the foundation they built through patience. Carlton did not win Nicole through charm tricks or sudden drama. He stayed. He learned. He understood her fear instead of attacking it. And Nicole in the end might finally feel ready to stop running from certainty. Because sometimes certainty is exactly what a tired heart needs. So the story circles back to that first moment when Carlton walked into Anita's house, pretending he only came for a polite visit. In reality, he came searching for courage. Vernon gave him that push. And from there, every small decision begins forming the path toward a future neither of them could reach alone. The waiting, the mistakes, the quiet loyalty, all of it slowly shaping the possibility that Carlton and Nicole might finally arrive at the same place at the same time. And if that happens, the long, strange journey might actually end with the simple promise both of them were afraid to say before, a promise that this time the door will stay open, and neither of them will walk away.